What's up, LA gangsters, American gangster, worldwide gangster? This is Gangster Transform Compete TV, and my name is Peasy. Thank you for joining us. Our mission is to interview and profile ex-gang members who have transformed themselves and turned their lives around and are now competing positively in society. We hope to inspire someone that is going through the gang lifestyle, the hustler's lifestyle, the street lifestyle, and we hope to motivate them to choose a different path because we know the end result is incarceration or unalivings. Today it's my pleasure to bring to you someone that I know gang banged alongside two of my older cousins, OG Small Fry and Big Ant. May they both rest in peace. But I thank you for joining this gentleman, and I'd like for him to introduce himself. Go ahead, bro. Please introduce yourself.
My name is Blair.
Thank you, Blair, for joining us. And Blair, tell us, what street gang did you bang with?
I was a member of 153rd Street Crips. We was a gang within ourselves, just our street.
And what city was that
Compton.
in? So that's the city of Compton. And you were Compton Crips?
Yeah, we were Compton. It was along in the CC Rider area.
Okay. And when did you join the gang?
I had to be 10 or 11 years old. Very young, very young. I got into that type of arena because everybody done it. It was a thing to do. Seemed like I was always had this mentality of being a thug. You know, I guess that's just was a part of my belief system, how I grew up. So that and gang banging kind of fit in. But remember, I was very young, and literally the neighborhood now is Tradney Park, and this was before Tradney Park ever existed. Um, that didn't come along to the 80s. This was like 75, 76, and 77.
Okay. And you said you joined the gang because you felt you had a thuggish mentality, or you wanted to fit in with the surroundings or the people around you. What was some of the influences that pushed you towards the gang lifestyle as a young boy?
One, I liked the attention it brought. I seen the attention it brought for one. Number two, I was young and I was very impressionable. As far as uh, the homies that lived on my street. I mean, they had the girl. This was the era where we lift weights in the backyard, and I was really kid, so I was really attracted to that. And the amazing part of it is I was so young to where that's when the house party era was around. So we used to go to house parties, and I seen how they hung out. We drunk silver satin and old English. Remember, I'm very young, and I just like what it brought. I like the attention it brought, and also I was very young, so I went to school, and what I seen the big homies doing, I done it on the kids at school. And you got to understand, 11, 12 years old, the majority of the kids are they 12 going on 9, and I was like 12 going on 17. So the attention, attention.
You were very mature for your age, so you hung around with older people in your neighborhood.
Yeah, no doubt.
And they kind of helped to influence you in a
big
negative way.
And the part of I just liked it. I mean, it was part of a belief system. I can say that. Even as I got older, I seen how delusional it was. What I believed, and that's what I did as a kid. Yeah.
Okay. And if you can recall, how long did you gang bang in total? Years?
Honestly, at least 4 or 5 years. Athletics kind of took me out of it. but it's something that I need to really hit on is the thuggish mentality never left. And as I stated earlier, I think a lot of gangbangers are not thugs. I don't know the percentage, but I think some of them are not thugs. I believe they were, pushed into it because it was a necessity, or they wanted to fit in or whatever. But for me, yeah, it was about 5 years, and after the years went by, the thuggish mentality never left me, and I learned that just being a thug, even separated from doing the things that gangbangers do, got me in so much trouble. It was a mentality.
It was almost like you didn't need the gang to
No,
get in trouble
no,
because of how
nothing.
your mental was wired at the time,
The way I think,
the way you were
Amen.
thinking.
Just think
So
between
it
my
would you would have.
yes.
Now, where do you think that thuggish mentality came from? Was it the bigger homies that you hung out with when you were young, or was it just growing up in the area that you grew up in?
Both,
Both.
and both. And you got to understand, I come from a real big family. Talking about not my immediate family, because it was just me and my sisters, but I had a lot of cousins that didn't even live and now some of my cousins was from the Pueblos, from a blood neighborhood. Now even before I knew about gang banging, I still watched them growing up, and they was always tough, and I picked up on that. I picked up on that thuggish mentality as a kid before I even knew what gang banging was. It was something I call it a belief system. It's something that whether something is true or false, if I believe it, it's true to me.
That's right.
So, and I grew up around that. So that's a great question. A lot of it came from just my siblings, not my siblings, but my family members growing up, and then being on the street I was on. I was on the street that had so many families, but they all were boys. I was just the young one. We had some from 20, 21, all the way down to 11 and 10. And I was just exposed to that. And it may sound sad, but I liked it. That's what it was. Yeah.
Are you what was the transformation that altered your life? How did you enter into what I call the transformation stage?
It was a very slow curve for me because I'm an ex All American athlete. And from the gang banging, doing the gang activity, even before the track new stuff started, I was young and I witnessed a lot of stuff when I was there, being a part of some stuff as a young teenager. I'm talking about pre-teenager. And athletics came in, and it curved me away from the physical gangbang. Curved me, right? However, this thing between my ears, I still was a thug. So as I got older, athletics came in, college came in, and I don't know. My story really is just that thug mentality never left me. So I got into a lot of things that didn't really have nothing to do with just banging, but it has something to do with the way I thought. I mean, what you looking at, homie? Yeah, I'm ready to do something to you just because you looking at me a certain way. And now I'm in my 20s, right? And this went on from 20 to 30. It just went on. So my curve was real slow. The active watching people get shot and doing stuff like that, I done that as a kid. I'm talking about a kid, right? But the mentality was still there of killing my black brothers. Yeah. Or just because, I think about it, man. Even to this day, and I'm an old man today, I gotta watch how I think, because just because somebody have a different area code, and the area code can change from 50 yards, and I know they bloods over there. And my mom said, "What you doing over here, man? You know you're in the wrong neighborhood." Literally. So it's a mentality. That thuggish mentality is what kept me in trouble. But the root of it was gangbanging. The root of it was my belief system of how I seen my cousins. Because I shared with you earlier, I was around my cousins from the Pueblos. They were hip, slick, and cool. You know, thug boy.
They made it look cool. They
It was
made it
cool
look
to me,
glamorous.
But
They
yeah,
made it look glamorous because they had the respect in the
yeah,
area.
and the
A lot of the
girls,
girls were
and,
attracted
you know,
to
yeah,
them. They had, you
yeah.
know, chain gold. They
Oh, come
had
on,
money. You know, so
The tailors on, all
they had
that.
the fits. They had all the nice stuff, the nice
I was
kicks.
attracted to that.
You were attracted to
Yeah.
that, as a lot of people are.
But my curve came very slow, and I'm not so much I am talking about the not so much of the act of gang banging, but I'm talking about the mentality that it brings.
Changing the thuggish
Oh my
mentality.
God, dude! And I still got that lingering in me. I got to really catch it as right now. It's savage. It is what it is.
So, would it be safe to say that sports was an avenue that helped you redirect your energy into something else?
Oh, yeah. You hit the nail on the head.
So, for a lot of people listening out there, sports might be a way for them to turn their attention elsewhere. That could be an avenue if a person is into sports.
There's a lot of positivity out there that can draw one to a different area. And it can be fatherhood. It can be going to school. I just really challenge and I encourage people to just think about what you're thinking about when it comes to that type of lifestyle. Because there are many of us that are not here. And many of us are spending the rest of our lives locked behind the walls of a thought that took a second, and and now they're spending the rest of their lives. So again, that curve, it was very slow for me because of my mentality. Very slow.
Let me ask you this: from the time that you were gangbanging to now, did you have to go into any environments that you didn't want to?
Oh, yeah.
But you had to deal with because of your lifestyle and what you had done?
Yeah.
If so, can you share?
Yes.
Can you share some of that?
I've been to multiple penitentiaries because of that mentality. Got into selling drugs. Got into using drugs.
At what age did you start selling drugs?
Man, at a very young age. But mind you, let's go back. Because I was smoking a whole lot of weed, drinking a whole lot of Silver Satin and Old English when I was 11 and 12 years old. And again, I'm in the field of recovery now, and I understand way back then the abnormal was normal to me. If that means anything if it means anything. Look.
That's a profound statement.
Listen to me.
Coming up
as a kid,
normal.
Yeah. Coming up as a kid, if I wasn't up under my bed looking for the shoebox full of weed, or if I wasn't having some strawberry margarita in the morning, I'm talking about young, bruh, real young, and that still fueled my mind. I already had a fascination with being a thug and being the man on campus. Because remember, I hung around older cats. So when I went to school, I was a cat, if you understand what I'm saying. So, yeah, man, the abnormal was normal to me at a very, very young age. Very young age.
And you mentioned that you've been to multiple penitentiaries.
Oh, yeah.
Can you name some of the ones you've been to?
Calipat, Delano, I've been there, bro. I was in Calipat. I think I kind of shared this with you earlier. I remember the last penitentiary I was in. I was in the penitentiary, and Calipat got like a 4-yard. Everybody go to the 4-yard. Everybody come in. It's like from the 4-yard we go to different areas, and I can remember again standing on the tier, and the lifers ran, our dom, and they fed us. But that's when they were sticking them COs, so we stayed in handcuffs. Go to the shower, handcuffs, come back in handcuffs. But my point is, I remember looking down off the tier, and I remember seeing a gang of youngsters never going home, and they were in here for gangbanging, murder, whatever, whatever it was. And I just realized they were never coming home.
It's amazing. You have young men and women in their young 20s, maybe even teenagers,
Yes.
and they'll never go home from
Never
prison.
go home. And from just making a decision, it took a second, and now they're going to reap the repercussion of the rest of their lives. That's their mentality. Yeah.
Now, and then when you got out of prison, what did you do with yourself? Because now you got to find a new way. The old way didn't work. What did you do once you got past the prison stint and you decided to move forward with your life? What did you do then?
For me, to be very honest with you, I just got tired of the lifestyle. Something about the lifestyle that just choked all my dreams out of me. It was hurting the people I love, and then I think the Creator allowed me to see the pain I was causing other people. Right, so I just wanted to be self-proficient through my own contributions. I just felt so less than, and I want to, be a better child to my mom, better brother to my sister. I just want to be a better man. So, I had to again find a way where I could be self-supporting through my own contributions. So that's I'm a veteran, right? So I came to the Veterans Hospital, man, and applied for some jobs, and now I'm a federal employee. I do believe that there's, especially here where I'm from in LA, in the LA area, there's always jobs. And they got these things now to where people like me that have been to the penitentiary, had a hard life off drugs and alcohol, whatever it is. There's a way out. But and God helped me with this. I do believe the cornerstone to it is just being willing to do something different, just being willing. And I know for myself, God opens up a door for the willingness. If you're willing, a door open. You may not even see it from your physical eye. You may not even feel it, but there's thousands of us that went through this and got on the other side. And God is not a respecter of persons. He's there for you too. I'm clear about that. But yeah.
So you mentioned God a few times. So would you say that for someone out there listening, for a little extra strength in making the right decisions in their life or changing their life, would God be a good avenue to tap into?
Well, I may sound biased because I'm in the ministry. I preach and teach the gospel. So, and my biasness, yes. I mean, God spoke this world into existence in 6 days. So your problems is really minute, really. Just go, I had to really get to a point to where I realized that I wasn't God. I'm going to keep it real with you. Because I made my own decisions. I had to really realize, look, you're really running your own life. And look where it got you. Keep it real. So I had to look outside of myself and I had to look to the Creator. It's amazing because I look behind you and I see all these hills. And I see these big old pretty houses on the hills. And I see all this, man. Just think. That's God's work. That's His handiwork. So I had to really come to a place to where I was really willing. And my experience as far as what the streets brought me made me just didn't want that no more. So I was willing to do something different. That's what happened for me. And I challenged and I hope that you can see that. I just had to run out of Blair. Because Blair always kept me in trouble, bro. Yeah. That's really my story.
For someone out there listening, if you had one message that you could convey imparting, what would you say that could maybe touch someone out there? What would be that one message to anybody out there listening?
Wow, good question. There comes a point in our lives, and I'm gonna keep me in my life, to where I have to really get sick and tired of the lifestyle I was living, and I had to reach outside of myself and realize that what I was doing didn't work. You know, there's something called the lay aside prayer, and I give it to the people I work with. It says, lay aside everything you think you know. I don't care how smart I was, how philosophical I was, how educated I thought I was. Everything I thought I know kept me in trouble. So I had to reach outside of myself to get some new information.
Lean not to their own
Yeah,
understanding.
amen. But acknowledge God in all your ways, He'd accept your path. Now, I know all of you guys don't share the same faith I share. But what I do know, that there's something out there that's more powerful than you. So when I had to realize that I didn't have the power to get out, but something that was more powerful than me that can get me out, and through people that has crossed over, if you understand what I'm saying. Now, listen to this. If you want to be a millionaire, hang around millionaires, right? If you want to be a bum, hang around bums. If you want to get out of the situation you are in, and you've seen people that has got out, follow them. That's really my advice. There's always a way out.
The person that came before you could provide a roadmap.
Yes. I mean, listen to me.
And inspiration.
If I ain't never been to France before, and I need to go to France, and you know how to get there, then I better follow you.
That's what a wise person would do. Because it's easier that way than to learn the hard way.
Yeah, and that hard way is jails, institutions, and what? Death.
That's right.
3 ways. Jails, institutions, death. And one thing that really helped me, and I know only God helped me to see it, is I always was selfish and thought I was hurting myself. But I'm hurting my family, my kids, my mama, my friends that love me. I mean, come on, man. We taking everybody as a hostage. Yeah. Yeah.
Very profound words. Very profound words. I thank you, Blair, for sharing your story, for your sharing your testimony, your heartaches, your experiences, and now your triumph.
Yeah,
because you came out of it. You were the gangster. You transformed yourself, and now you're competing positively in life. And we want all our viewers to understand and see that they can change their lives. It doesn't matter what gang you're from. It doesn't matter what state you're in. It doesn't matter what country you're in. You can change your life for the better, and it's not too late. If you don't have a life sentence, and if you're not under the dirt, then you can change your life.
Come on, my brother.
And that's what Gangster Transform Compete TV is all about. And I thank you once again, Mr. Blair. We honor you. We champion you. We respect you for all that you've done and for all that you've gone through and for the man you have turned out to be. We thank you very much for your time and for your thoughtfulness in sharing your story.
Yes, yes.